Thanks so much for listening. This is Doing Life with Maria and Chad. We're all doing life, but who knew it could be this funny?
And thanks to my daughter, I found out that you can get Doritos and a 6-pack of beer and some ice cream delivered in 10 minutes if you want it.
Who doesn't?
We will tell you all about that and more coming up on today's podcast. Chad, I know you and your wife, Stephanie, and your daughter, Georgia, recently moved into a new home.
Yeah. Yep. We're still trying to get figured out where to put things, but yeah.
Do you have any wildlife in the area?
Well, we had a rattlesnake not too long ago. We have a monster spider living in our garage, which I'm sure has a whole family out there that I haven't found yet. And the average coyote coming through the neighborhood every now and then.
Do you have rats?
I haven't seen, our old neighborhood had them, but I haven't seen them at this house yet. But they seem to be everywhere.
Well, we have rats because our neighbors have fruit trees, so I think it's those fruit rats.
Especially this time of year, all that.
Yeah.
If you don't get the fruit off the tree, it rots, and it's a great place for rats to hang out. Yeah.
And you can hear the rats on the roof sometimes, just a little click, 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 click of their feet, and it's kind of freaky.
You sure that's not Santa and his reindeer up there? You might want to double check.
So my husband set up some rat traps, and he put the traps on the fence that separates the neighbor with the fruit trees and us.
Okay.
Which makes sense, right? Because the rats are going to travel along there. Unfortunately, he goes out the other morning to check his rat traps. He killed a quail.
Oh. And how did this affect your husband?
And let me just say, my husband gets frustrated with me because I'll ask him, hey, what's your favorite color? Maria, I don't have a favorite color. What's your favorite day of the week? I don't have a favorite day of the week. But if you ask him what his favorite bird is, he will say a quail.
That's a little weird.
So he goes out there and there's this dead quail. And I'm laughing, but he was so upset.
I'm laughing because you have asked your husband his favorite bird. Like, I don't know that I have an answer to that. I guess maybe an eagle? A quail. That's a weird choice for his favorite bird, but I'm glad that that's what he likes.
He loves quail. He thinks they're just so funny because they have that little thing on the top of their head.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what? I just thought of this.
Okay.
I actually have a picture of my husband with morning hair, and his hair looks like a quail.
Yep.
And I did a side-by-side of a quail and my husband in a photo. So I'll find that, and I'll post it up on our Maria and Chad Facebook page because it's so funny. But so, yeah, he killed his favorite bird with a rat trap, like right around the neck.
Only your husband, yesterday or earlier, a couple days ago, it was his back was bothering him. Now he's killing wild animals. He needs a diary, I think, maybe just to keep track of all of the happenings in his life.
I kind of feel bad because he is not very emotional.
Yeah.
And he perhaps had a little tear in his eye.
Yeah.
It might have been dusty that day.
Yeah, that's one of the concerns when, you're trying to get rid of those rats and you've got traps or you're trying to poison or whatever you're doing to get rid of them. Like when you have pets around, I was always afraid, when you put stuff out that they're going to die and then the pets will get to the rat who has the poison in it. You know what I mean? It's like, what do? You don't want them around, but you don't want them around. You gotta do something, right?
Well, in hindsight, we see the quail walk along that wall all the time. Like, perhaps we should have thought that through a little bit better, but I don't know. Maybe
there's going to be one less quail walking along there, I think, going forward.
Yes, it was so sad.
Are you ready to play Get the Fake Out, Maria?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it.
You are a liar. You are a fake.
Maria and Chad present.
Is this for real?
Do you ever fake it?
Get the Fake Out.
That was a fake.
I think I'm for real.
Now, if you've never heard this game before, you can play along as you listen to our podcast. There's a bunch of headlines that are mostly all true except for one. That's the fake one. And Maria, you are assigned today to figure out which one is fake, okay?
Okay.
You find the fake headline. This is number one. A study found that trained dogs can predict if someone has it with 94% accuracy. Talking about the coronavirus, okay?
Oh, okay.
Trained dogs, 94% accuracy. A county fair in Ohio is doing their part when it comes to social distancing by recommending everyone stay 1 cow apart. Okay. A goat
I love that.
was arrested in India for not wearing a mask. That's it. Okay, so that's the third headline.
That's it? I only have 3?
No, that's the whole headline.
Okay.
You know what a Bugatti is? The type of fancy car.
It's a car. Yeah.
Yeah, they're selling a $35,000 electric car for kids.
Oh, like those little ones that they sit in?
Well, this one, I'll let you figure out if you think that's true.
Okay.
And the boat from your favorite movie, Jaws, is being rebuilt to study sharks.
Ooh.
Gmail topped Twitter and Instagram as the most used iPhone application in the first week of July, according to statistics. And finally, the last one, the friendliest people, not the fittest people, survive and pass on their genes. All right, so you heard all the headlines from just listening through there one time. What do you think is the fake headline? Get the fake out, Maria.
Okay, so number 1 was the dogs trained to
Predict
figure out
coronavirus. Standing 1 cow apart at the fair.
I think that's true. Both of those are true. I think the fair standing 1 cow apart, that's pretty funny, actually. So I think that's true. I think the goat that got arrested not wearing a mask, because goats can't transfer coronavirus. So I'm going to say number 3 is the fake story.
That is true.
Oh, it's true? It's not fake?
That is a true story. It happened in Kanpur, India. I'm not sure what their mask rules are there, but that is a true headline. So you haven't you take another guess here.
I'm going to say that Gmail is more popular than Twitter and Instagram.
That's it. That is the fake headline. Yeah, there's no way.
Okay.
More popular than Twitter and Instagram. No, Gmail is not. So the true ones, let's run through these here. The story about the friendliest people, not the fittest people, survive and pass on their genes. There's a bunch of science in this article, but the most successful strategy in life is friendliness and cooperation, according to this story.
Okay.
Then the thing about Jaws, which I know you love that movie, they're going to actually use this boat to study sharks and marine life around Martha's Vineyard. They're going to call it was it called the Orca 1 or 2 in the movie? Do you remember?
I thought it was the Orca 1. I don't know.
This one they're going to
gosh, I don't know.
That's okay. It's good. They're going to call it Orca 3, because they're recreating the boat. And they're going to do a whole documentary about the process and studying the sharks and marine life around Martha's Vineyard. It's going to be called Return of the Orca. So that is true.
That's fun.
The car for kids, the Bugatti, $35,000 electric car for kids, they're going to make 500 of these. And this is what surprised me even more than the price. This thing will go 12 to 35 miles per hour. I don't know what age.
You got little kids behind the wheel of those things.
That's what I'm looking. It must be for like people just before they're ready to drive the driver's license. I don't know. And then the thing with the cow.
Wait.
Wait.
Isn't that faster than a golf cart?
Oh yeah, 30. I mean, a lot of speed limits are 30. I mean, that's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They are training dogs to predict coronavirus. 94% accuracy. That is true. And at the fair in Ohio, it's a county fair in Ohio. They are recommending that everyone stay 1 cow apart,
that is clever marketing.
Yeah, it's
let
about
me just say
6 feet. About the I'm surprised they're actually having the fair. A county fair. I think the one where I grew up is canceled. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So maybe that was their way of being cute about it and saying, hey, stay 1 cow apart. Oh, we can still have the Ferris wheel come to town. I don't know.
Woo! So, I got to tell you, my daughter Lucy spent a couple days at home recently, and we're, lazy, and we're all sitting on the couch and we're watching movies, and she goes, ooh, I'm really craving Cheetos. And I'm like, all right, well, get in your car, go to the store and go get some Cheetos.
Right.
No, I'm going to Go Puff them.
What
My
is
husband
that?
and I are like, yeah, what the hell is Go Puff? So she gets on her phone and she goes, does anybody want any snacks? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want some chocolate ice cream. And she goes, okay. Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle with her phone. 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, she gets a call. And she's like, okay, I'll be right there. She goes out to the front door and has a bag full of ice cream and Cheetos and some kind of random sour candy. It is a delivery service
Okay.
that cuts out the middleman. It's $2 for delivery. That's it.
Yeah.
You can tip on the app or whatever, that as well. But they delivered ice cream and her chips and some candy literally in like 10 to 15 minutes.
Was the
That's
ice cream cold? Did they get it at a grocery store close to your house? Like, how does this happen?
I have no idea. And it was cold. I mean, it was a little melty just because, even if you go to the grocery store and bring it home,
Yeah.
But it was amazing. And my husband and I are like, where do they get this stuff? And I think it's kind of like an Uber driver, I guess, but you just run into the grocery store, you grab the stuff and I
got to look for that
I
app.
don't know how they do it that fast. I really don't know how they do it that fast.
Let me look it up because I know that there's, what is it, DoorDash and all these other. I've never heard of GoPuff. Is it one word?
Yeah, and they have everything from, excuse me, snacks. They have electronics. They have like cigarette stuff, like vapes and chew. And I mean, I looked it up before we did the podcast so I could learn a little bit. It's all over the country.
Huh.
I mean, it is just amazing and so quick and pretty cheap for delivery,
Yeah.
I mean, I can get it if there's some people in Nevada and they're smoking pot because it's legal there.
Right.
And they get the munchies for something and then they just go puff their Doritos.
When you said the
Don't have
name,
to
that's
drop
kind of what I was
anymore.
thinking. It was kind of like a weed smoker, munchie app, but I guess it could be used for anybody that wants something to eat, That's
Oh my gosh, she was so excited about it. Oh, I'll just go puff our snacks. Does anybody want anything? I'm like, are you buying? And
No,
it's not.
with her being a college kid, when she says, "Does anybody want anything?" It means, "Does anybody want to pay for this?" And then I'll get you something too.
Well, that's kind of what I thought, but I end up paying for her Starbucks all the time because she forgets that my PayPal is on her Starbucks account.
Yeah, I'm sure she's just
Oh,
can't
sorry,
remember
Mom.
that little detail.
But she bought me ice cream. She bought me chocolate ice cream.
Well, that is one of the things. I was looking at the top comfort foods of the pandemic because I got to tell you, my buddy Tom and his wife Chelsea, they went crazy when the pandemic started. You know how people were buying up toilet paper and
yeah.
stocking up on stuff? So their snack of choice is French onion dip and I think it's Ruffles potato chips.
Yum.
So they actually wanted it to sound fancier, so that this, rather than French onion dip, they call it foid. And so they were buying so much of it that they were afraid it would go bad. So they actually were freezing containers of French onion dip in case in the pandemic nobody could find it anywhere, so they wouldn't miss out on their favorite snack.
Can you actually freeze French onion dip?
You can, but then you got to plan ahead. If you want to, you got to thaw it out. You know what I mean? Put it in your fridge
Yeah.
for a few days. But it just kind of made me laugh that they were stocking up on that. When I saw this, the top comfort foods of the pandemic, for me, I mean, lately I've been eating a lot of black cherries because they're in season. I think they're like from the state of Washington has a ton of them right now. But this is the top comfort foods of the pandemic. Tell me if any of these, you talked about potato chips. That's on the list. Ice cream, candy,
Yep.
which includes chocolate, pizza, mac and cheese. And actually, they separated the two. Mac and cheese and pasta are on the list. And the last two kind of surprised me. Mashed potatoes. Have you been having that during the pandemic?
No. No. I was trying to think of something clever to say, but
It doesn't
no
fit
mashed
with the
potatoes.
rest. It's kind of involved. And then the final one is chicken noodle soup, which, that's comforting, I guess, for people. They don't feel well.
Well, it's comforting, but it's too hot here.
Right.
I think some of those, like in Arizona, like today, it's supposed to be 116 or something like that.
Yeah, thanks for the
I'm
reminder.
not going to eat soup. Yeah, I'm not going to eat soup. That's hot. I'm not going to eat mashed potatoes. That's hot. I'm not going to eat pizza. That's hot. I'll eat some cold cereal and ice cream.
My wife wanted me to clarify on our last podcast. I was telling you about her losing her Band-Aid in the soup. She goes, people probably think I'm crazy because I'm making soup in this heat. She had some broccoli that she was trying to get rid of. So it was like a broccoli cheese soup, and the Band-Aid was not in the soup. Just so if you missed our last podcast, you can go back and listen to that. But speaking of our last podcast, we were talking about a skydiver who lost his prosthetic leg, and it was found by a farmer, and he got his prosthetic leg back, right?
Right, had a few bruises on it, but it still worked.
Yes. So as I was getting ready for today's podcast, I found what can be our missing prosthetic leg story of the day. There's another prosthetic.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. This is Mike Evans. Him and his friends were rafting on the Merrimack River in Missouri. This was over the weekend when he and a friend decided to swim for a while. He swam back to the raft where he noticed his $27,000 prosthetic leg was missing. So, this is what Mike sounds like here.
I reached a raft. My wife was there, so I said, "Give me a hand getting in." And she grabbed one arm. I grabbed the raft handle, and when I pulled up, I'm like, "Oh, my leg feels a little light," And sure enough, it wasn't there.
Now, if you don't know,
so wait. He was swimming with the leg then.
yeah, he had the leg on, and then it wasn't there.
Oh.
But we wouldn't be talking about this if the leg was not found. A Missouri State Trooper heard about his situation and contacted him for more information so he could send a dive team to search for the leg. And the team was actually able to locate the leg and get it back to him. So he got his prosthetic. Everybody gets a prosthetic leg. It's like an Oprah Winfrey show. You get your leg back.
Yay! And if you think about it, they are expensive. $27,000.
Yeah, and I don't, this is kind of where we were at yesterday. We were doing the podcast. Like, I don't know what it feels like when your leg's not there, but I guess you would know. Like you said, he noticed it wasn't there when he got back to the raft. But that is our missing prosthetic leg story of the day. Okay. Thanks again for listening to the podcast. Again, we're doing life with Maria and Chad. If you want to see the picture of Maria's husband looking like a quail, you can go to our Facebook page. Look for Maria and Chad on Facebook. And then, of course, on Instagram, it's at MariaAndChad. So at Maria and Chad on Instagram.
And you can also listen to the podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, Pandora, of course on YouTube. What else am I missing?
Tune in. You always get them.
Tune in and iHeart.
Yeah,
Tune in and iHeart.
iHeartRadio app, all that. And then when you're on those apps, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when we have a new episode, which will be very, very soon. Thanks for listening and watching.
Thanks again for listening to Doing Life with Maria and Chad. Follow us on Instagram at Maria and Chad. You can now listen to every episode on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Pandora, and of course, you can watch on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode.